Good day, everybody. Coming in. It's now 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We're going to have a few Q&A going on today. A few questions and answers that need to be answered. Anything in regards to the classes and courses that you are a part of. We're going to talk about that today. We're going to try to go and stay within time. Try to go until about 2 o'clock today. So the rules, just so we can stay on time, ask one question. Try to be specific. I am going to go over a little small lesson today just to clarify a few things. Some of you have been asking about the foreign driver's license and the information. Like you once had seen it within Patreon as far as an application that you can apply for and get that started to get a foreign driver's license issued out of Panama. I took that down because I wanted to make some announcements first. I will put it back up. Just so you know, when you apply to get your foreign driver's license, there is a separate applications in addition to that to get your international driving permit. It's a completely separate application. Both applications are inside the Patreon tier for that. When you apply for your foreign driver's license, I am in no way affiliated with the fiduciary in New York who provides that for you. Okay, so he's going to receive your money orders, he's going to receive your application. He is so private, the way that they do things, for good reason. But you will eventually get your passport in the mail to the address that you have provided. There is no email address. I'm sorry to follow up and to find out where he is with your order. He receives a lot of orders throughout the entire world. As of now, it seems like the count or the waiting period is anywhere from 6 weeks to 12 weeks. So you will get it. Now, I'm going to go over information today to show you there are additional steps that you have to do so that by the time you get the driver's license, you know exactly how to operate with this entirely. It makes sense that you have to get certain things in place. Okay. So before I get into that, another announcement. Dorothy, Rick, Rob Taylor, I couldn't get to you guys on our scheduled time. We had Hurricane Nicole come through in my area. Powers went down, electricity went down. So the only signal that I had was whatever juice that I had in my phone. So once that died out, I was pretty much at the mercy of just waiting until the next day. So we're good. I will give you a call at the end of this call today. So expect it anywhere after 2 p.m. Dorothy, Rick, and Rob. All right, so let me go ahead and share my screen. I want to go over the driver's license aspect. So I took some notes down and I'm going to give this to you so that way you can always have it inside of Patreon. You can download it to your computer. You will be able to refer to this as a note. Driver's license and name change. How these two coincide is very important. You got to start putting your thinking caps on and look at the situation from a police officer who's dealing with you. This is why we're doing these steps. All right. It's just 6 steps, not too much, not too long, very simple. Let's read. How to drive in the continental United States of America as an inhabitant or a naturalized person. Right? This is somebody who's born outside of the United States. They've come here, they're naturalized, they have a naturalized certificate. This will work for either or. Someone who's born here in the 50 countries of the North American continent or outside. Number one, update your current state driver's license with an address opposite to where you lay your head. This disclaims the location of a debtor found in UCC 9-307. Instead, use your iPostal 1, PostNet, or UPS, or any private box where you can receive mail. Okay. I want you to use this address on your driver's license. Do not use the address where you sleep. Never, ever receive mail where you sleep or where you lay your head. Just to be sure to use the syntax. Now, sometimes you get an address with iPostal One or UPS, and it will say suite number or postmaster box, and it gives you a number. Well, you can keep the number, but just change the syntax from suite to apartment or a number sign, whichever you like. Okay, that will be on the actual driver's license. Now, this is for people who are in the process of getting their foreign license. They want to know what can they do to operate privately while still holding that state driver's license. You're going to have it for some time, and you don't want to send it back into the DMV when it hasn't expired yet, because that will automatically put it into a suspension state. Okay, you will let it expire when that time comes. But if you're someone who wants to use it because it's easier, you don't want to go the foreign driver's license route, this is what you need to do at least for a bare minimum. Change the address to a place where you don't sleep, right? The name on the current driver's license will be listed on your state injunction filed with the county sheriff, state governor, state chief justice, and the state attorney general. Number two, if you plan to operate an automobile and you wish to not use a state driver's license, deeming you as a commercial driver or employee of the state, there are a few steps you need to complete. First, obtain a foreign driver's license from any country in league with the International Road and Traffic Treaty. Simply use a new name, preferably a title of nobility name such as your first name and a title name. You can use L, Bay, Khan, Malik, or if your name is Austin Johnson, born in Butler County, you can use the nobility Austin, the Duke of Butler, or Austin, the Viscount of Butler, or Count Bay. Any one of those will work. It just cannot be the name that is already in their system. Choose a new name. In addition to the foreign driver's license, you will also need to obtain an international driving permit. Now, third, you must proceed to petitioning the court for a name change decree to reflect your old birth name to your new title of nobility name, including your race and nationality, using the public laws of 94-241. This is going back to your trustee minutes, number 4, where you give your oath and declaration of your nationality. This is the law that tells you to do that. This is the only law that allows you to do such a process to correct your status. Okay, and the United States Department of State will accept this public law. I want to show you an example of what that name change decree would look like. This is done out of Miami-Dade County, Florida, for an individual. His birth name was Alfred Muhammad, recently deceased. Okay. This cause was heard on the petition for change of name, and the court, having heard the testimony of the petitioner and being fully informed in the premises, it is adjudged that the said petition hereby is granted. Alfred Muhammad hereafter shall be known by the name of Alfred Muhammad Bey. It is further adjudged that the race of petitioner shall reflect Moor, and nationality shall reflect America's Aboriginal national, but not a citizen of the United States. The tail end of that sentence there comes from that public law, 94-241. This was his petition and the name change that he did, changing it from Alfred Muhammad to Alfred Muhammad Bey, his title of nobility. He was then able to use this decree to go on to the next step. Number 3, once the decree is obtained successfully, you can proceed to filling out the proper forms with the Department of State. If your name change was issued within a year of your current passport, And you would use passport form ES 5504, which allows you to attach your court decree along with your explanatory statement. That is according to the acts or conditions of the application. If you don't have a passport, or it is expired, or your name change is it was issued well after a year of the current passport, then you may simply proceed using passport form DS11 as the instructional videos and Patreon displays. So DS11, that's the one that we've all filled out, those that have a passport. Sometimes you go back and look at that and you have determined you did not follow the instructions as it told you to, but you will do it now. So go back, read this section that we just went over for the parameters. If that applies to you, you will either do DS 5504 or DS 11. So you will find that in the senior course for that information or the video titled Correcting Your Status, Passport Rejection. The reason the name change and passport is so important when it comes to traveling on public roads with a foreign ID is because common officers are not aware of foreign licenses in all states, except the cities with international ports such as Los Angeles, Denver, New York, and Miami, for example. Those areas have high traffic of people coming in from other countries. So they're used to seeing foreign driver's license. But if you go into the mid section of the United States, Kansas, North Dakota, South Dakota, you may not find an officer that understands. Most officers, they ask for valid proof beyond foreign ID and international driving permit as to how you are allowed to be within the United States as an additional gatekeeper, not knowing if they should contact immigration services. Therefore, having a foreign driver's license in a country in alliance with the International Road and Traffic Treaty, as well as being recognized as a dual citizenship country with the United States, is imperative. So, being that Panama is one of those countries, we simply tell the officer we were born in California or Florida or Mississippi, but we were abroad for some time in Panama. And we're also working on getting licenses out of South Wales, Australia. So we can say we were abroad for some time in Panama or South Wales, Australia, and we had to obtain a license there. We don't have a United States license to give, but we do have the Panama driver's license, translated in English via international driving permit. And just in case you want to verify how I am able to be here in the States, here is my passport, the very same name as the foreign ID. All of that will check off everything on the officer's list to leave you alone. Now, at this time, it is wise to also give the officer the registration showing it is registered in the trust and the insurance. This will prompt the officer to look up the license plate, which will populate "Do not stop, do not detain" on his screen from that writ of injunction that you previously filed with the sheriff. Now, if you're in a rental car, obviously that's not going to happen, but he will quickly determine that you are in no way connected to this vehicle or automobile. The airports also have a similar system with the Department of Homeland Security in line with TSA. It's called Secure Flight. So it avoids the no-fly list and Centers for Disease Control and Prevention do not board list. So you want to avoid those lists. Right now, everybody under a state driver's license or utilizing a real ID is on that list. That is why you are pretty much stripped down naked when you go through TSA to go through your go through the ports to your boarding procedure. If you want to avoid all that, there is a procedure for TSA that we can do, that we have done, and it goes all the way back to the Articles of Confederation of 1781. And you will be on a separate list that removes you from this no-fly list or Centers for Disease Control and Prevention do not board this. It is a mouthful, I know. 5. So when you have an injunction filed with the sheriff covering your birth certificate name or naturalized certificate name, your trust name, and your title of nobility name, and the automobile you own registered in the name of the trust, or if you financed or leased in the name of the trust enterprise, and the insurance reflects the DMV information utilizing a public trustee with a valid state driver's license and their social security number, you have covered all aspects of operating in the private on public roads. What happens is the officer cannot give you a citation. He now has to operate under common law. Now, when it comes to insurance, have your trusted public trustee open the insurance in their name using their social security number. Meanwhile, the trust pays the premiums. Lastly, the name on the foreign driver's license should contact an insurance company to obtain personal injury protection, also known as non-owner insurance, right? What this will do, it covers any damages he, she causes or receives from another driver at fault. No SSN will be required, but only the foreign ID. All right, so these notes will be in Patreon after this session is over. I will update it. I will update it. No problem. Go ahead. Stop my share. Now, let's go and get into questions. Questions. Go. Remember, one question per call. And if we go through all questions and have time, you are able to raise your hand again. Quite a few people in today, but only 3 hands. So we're going to go with Tawan. Go ahead and unmute your mic. You are open.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Thank you.
Okay, I just want to know. I'm trying to progress myself to go to become tax exempt with my W-2 earnings. So I've already done a few steps but what else do I have to do? I'll have to do an IRS online, a state. I don't know what's the next step while my birth certificate is being authenticated from the federal on the federal level. I've already sent that off already.
What is the last video you saw in this course? That's the only way I can know where you are to tell you what is next.
The last video I saw in this course.
Are you in the
I'm on.
freshman or
I'm on.
sophomore?
I'm in the freshman level because I was trying. I thought the freshman levels was to become tax exempt.
The
So I've been
freshman
studying.
levels will not complete the process of tax exemption. You need to go through freshman, sophomore, and junior. When you complete all of those steps, you
Okay,
now have a complete packet to give to the IRS or anybody who's coming after you to tax you. That packet is
got you.
utilized to stop them in their tracks. Now, what is the
Okay,
senior course? Senior course teaches you discharge methods and then the injunction.
okay,
So you have to follow the steps. You're taking your time and you're gravitating to this information. It's new, it's a lot.
okay,
I want you to
okay,
watch these things at least 2 or 3 times before you actually put these things into motion, before you send it out.
okay.
Do
Because
that,
I know your last,
do that for
your last.
sophomore and do that for junior.
Understood. I guess because your last video and on freshman level was filling out, sending the forms to your job, letting them know, the documents that you can now become tax exempt. That's the last video, I by filling out your W-4 form.
If you do have an employer, you can go back and update your W-4 with them and file exempt, right?
I can
Lines
do that
4C.
anyway. Okay, so I can do that now while I'm doing all my paperwork?
You could do it now. It
Okay.
is November, so that means you should have already received or you will receive a W-2, right?
Right.
The end of
Well,
the
not
year,
until January. Right. Right.
right? So when you
Okay.
get that W-2, you have a choice. Either you file the taxes and pay it, or you don't and wait until your process is done and let the trust file on its behalf.
Okay. Will do. Okay. All right. Now, for me to move on to sophomore level, do I have to? Okay, because I noticed that the charge is right. It's on the first of each month. So
Somewhere in
what
between
should
the
I do
first and the
to keep
fifth.
it being first and the fifth? Okay. So what should I do to keep it being double charged? Should
Well,
I just tier up on the first or the third or maybe the 28th of this month or the 29th of this month?
well, most people would just go into the complete tier and have access to everything so that you don't have to worry about that. But if you wanted to do it a la carte one by one, you definitely want to opt out before the first, and then you opt in on the first into that new tier.
Okay. Oh, well, right now I just cannot afford 299 right now. I'm just trying to, work my doing as much as my paperwork as possible because a lot of time I have questions I might need to take that money and purchase me a consultation. So that's
Understood.
right now. Okay.
Understood. I see how you're working it. That's good.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I guess by December I should be so opt out and just go ahead and go to sophomore and finish the steps in sophomore.
Mhm.
Okay. I didn't know if I could. Okay. Do I have to pay? Because I do owe them $1,300 before I go exempt, update my W-4 while I'm doing the steps. Do I have to pay?
Did they give you a bill?
Well, I pay them every month because I owe them
Okay, so
IRS.
you set up
Owe
a
them.
payment plan with them. So now what you need to do is you
Mhm.
need to enter into accord and satisfaction with them.
Okay.
So as a freshman, you do have access to the accord and satisfaction webinars.
Yes.
I
Okay.
want you to begin that process.
Okay. Core satisfaction. Okay. And work on and update my W-4 to be non-exempt at the
Yes,
same time. Okay.
yes.
Thank you, sir. That's all I need. I just need clarification. Just so confusing.
No problem. No problem.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tawa. All right. Let's go to Charles Bernard. You are unmuted. Go ahead, unmute your mic.
Greetings.
Greetings to you.
I'm I actually just signed up today. I wanted to have a consultation to get an idea where to go because I have a few things that's already completed. So I did sign up for the sophomore um, pla- um, pla- platform.
Mhm.
However, after viewing it, I had quite a few questions as to what I really need to focus on because I thought I had a trust. I thought I had an express trust, but obviously I'm going to have to go back and change that. The question is, do I have the ability to move back to the freshman? So that's making sure that part's cleared as opposed to, or do I have to wait and then change it back to freshman at that? I just did it today.
I see. Well, you all can move freely anytime you want to any tier you want. But as I just mentioned with Tawan, to prevent you being double charged, you might as well just wait while you're in the sophomore until the last day of this month and go ahead and opt out of it on the first. So that way there is no double charge for you.
Mhm.
In regards to getting a consultation, I'm going to put the number inside the chat here, or my assistant will do that. And you can call that number, leave a descriptive um, request as to what you want to talk about. That way we can assign the correct consultant with you. Now, I recommend you do a doc review consultation since you already have things completed. And that way we'll be able to look at those things and kind of tailor situation best for you.
I can appreciate that.
Yeah. And it'll be done through Zoom, so we'll be sharing our screen and looking at the same thing.
Thank you.
No problem. Go ahead and put that number in. It's 888-899-2262. Thank you.
Left messages there on a couple of occasions.
I'm sorry.
I said I left messages there for a couple of occasions. I'm not gotten the call back yet, but that's why I just went ahead and joined. I didn't want to miss this call today.
Good. Well, my assistant got you. She got your name. If you can,
Okay.
you see her in the chat there as executive assistant. If you can give her your direct email, she'll send you the link for that consultation booking.
Thank you.
Thank you. Letty, how are you, my friend? You are unmuted. Just gotta unmute your mic. There we go.
How you doing, Avery?
I'm good, sir. Thank you.
Uh, my question is, every time I like start out to do or complete something else is like it's dependent on what I want to do, what I want to complete. So my question is, what can I complete without any other dependency? Does that make sense?
Well, I understand the question. What exactly are you working on right now that you have found has to go back a few steps?
Um, First, I wanted to complete the passport. I forgot what I needed. There was something else I needed to complete. Then I started out to do recently I've been like watching videos on how to do the DBAs, but there was something else that I needed to complete before I did the DBAs. Well, that's advertising the newspaper, so I got to take care of that. It just seems like there's nothing I can complete uh, if I don't have the declaration of uh, express trust uh, filed in the county clerk's office. So I'm asking, like, what can I complete that doesn't depend on any other document to be completed?
Yeah. The authentication process can be complete. The DBAs can be complete on your county forms. A lot of times they do require you to finish it up by putting that DBA in a local newspaper. You can also do your own version of a DBA. That's why I've given you guys that affidavit, a fictitious name registration. You can put all of the DBAs that you want in one affidavit. I presented that for you guys because some locations are telling you that you must get permission from the Secretary of State to do your DBA, when we know that the laws behind DBAs are only governed by the counties. The counties hold the highest seat in government. So, yes, you can do your DBA with the form that they've given you and tell you to go to the Secretary of State, but I don't like to let it stay there. I know the powers in the county. If I end up in court somewhere, it's going to most likely be in a superior court within a county. It's not going to be governed by the Secretary of State. Secretary of State is a corporation sole. So you utilize that affidavit that I've given you guys in Patreon and begin doing your DBAs in the county by just simply filing the affidavit. They will tell you how they want that to be done. I have found that when you do the affidavit, you first get it notarized, you put it in the local paper, and then you go and record it in the county as a simple affidavit. It does not have to have any property attached to it, none of that. And that will be something that you don't have to renew, because the ones that they tell you to do on their forms, you have to renew every 5 to 7 years. The affidavits stand as true forever. Why? Because when you submit an affidavit, it is up to whomever is trying to come against you, it is up to them to submit a denial of that affidavit. Otherwise, it stands as true through acquiescence. Those are two things that you can do that do not depend on anything else. You can go online and get your estate number, and also get your trust enterprise number. Once you get those numbers, you then proceed to filing 8832, the entity reclassification forms. If you haven't done that yet, you get that.
Yes. Yes, I have done that. I have my enterprise EIN and my state EIN.
All right. Have you opened up the bank account?
Not yet. That was the other thing I was trying to complete. But in order to open up my bank account, I need at least one DBA. Correct?
No, you don't. Your trust enterprise, I'm in the same state as you. So I know that when I went into the bank, I gave them the certificate of trust, I gave them the EIN number, and the ID connected to the trustee. That was it. They do not need any DBAs unless you're going to utilize an LLC or a corporation to be the trustee to open up that account.
So all you need is certification. What is it? A certification of trust
Mhm.
and your EIN,
Mhm.
the enterprise EIN.
Yep. And the trustee's ID. That's all you need. Now that was Wells Fargo, and that was Truist Bank. If you're using other banks, maybe they have their own internal procedures.
Okay.
You know,
I'll try that. We'll go back to the DBAs. You said I can file all the DBAs on one affidavit, right? For more than one affidavit.
Mhm.
And uh, do I still have to advertise on the newspaper?
Yeah. So go and get it notarized first. Find a local newspaper in the county that you want to use and let them circulate it for 2 to 4 weeks. They'll give you a certificate of that. And then you send that into the county.
No need to register the DBAs in the county website, in the state website.
Sunbiz?
Yeah.
No, there's no need. No need. And unless you operate a home business, LLC or a corporation, go ahead and go that route. But everything else, it's like your estates, your trust enterprise, registering the trust, the express trust name, and all of those things that are private, do the affidavit form.
Okay. Thank you. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. No problem. All right, we got about 30 minutes left. Going to Angela Perry. All you got to do is unmute your mic.
Hello, hello, Avery and everyone else. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. I have a question as it relates to the injunction. I'm getting a lot of kickback on that. I don't know if I should call it kickback. So the first filing that I sent, I forgot to actually send it as restricted, and it still hasn't been delivered. They're telling me I have to fill out some form to look forward to file a claim. Well, the second one I sent it restricted, and it was delivered in 2 or 3 days. So the third one I'm going to send on Monday. So this is causing me to go past the 72 hours as well. So the 72 hours is a minimum. So is there a maximum of time in between sending the injunctions that will kind of, take you out of the process?
No, there is no maximum time.
Okay.
I like to
that's
also say that they do play games when it comes to this injunction. They like to make you think that it was unsuccessful. Sometimes you may get your injunction sent back to you as saying return to sender. And then, of course, automatically you would think, oh, well, I have to do it again. There's a difference between return to sender versus undeliverable address.
Oh,
Return to
okay.
sender means they've accepted it, they know what you're doing, and they're not going to give you any type of confirmation that you're on that do not stop list. So they'll send it back to you. As long as they send it back to you without any counter document, you are on the list. So
Okay.
what I advise you to do on that first one, just continue to check on the UPS tracking system, and eventually you'll see it get delivered. But if you notice after 30 days, 60 days, it's still en route, that's one of the tricks that they do with the Postmaster General.
Oh, okay. Got it. Got it. But go ahead with the third one. And once the third one is done, just wait and see what happens with that first one. Because I want to send it restricted the last time, just simply because it seemed like that worked best.
Yeah, registered mail, restricted delivery.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yes, they are not in the business of letting you know you are on that list. Good reason. That's okay. All right. Going to Steve P. You are unmuted.
Hey, good afternoon, Avery. Thanks for taking the call. I'm new. I recently joined, and as you know, on the freshman level, on the Telegram side, my files and media only goes back, a couple of weeks from when you folks invited me to join. Is there information in Telegram? Is there a way to gain access, I guess, to the files prior to when we're joined?
Files. What do you mean by files in Telegram?
Files, media, links that are posted in Telegram? Or is everything in Patreon? Like, should I even worry about it? Like I'll see posts on your Telegram channel where people refer back to a document that's posted previously to when I joined that's not available to me.
Oh, they're most likely talking about the files that's in Patreon. We're not trying to host the files there in Patreon anyway.
Okay.
That's just something that you guys can go into if you want to, communicate amongst your peers, but you'll most likely get everything that you need within Patreon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick and simple. Well, I'll keep learning. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Lisa, welcome. You are unmuted.
Hey, thank you.
Mhm.
So I am at the very, very first step, and kind of like, I'm sorry, I don't remember what his name was, but there's always something to do before you can do the next thing. And my first thing that I need to do is find out, well, I have to get the foreign trustee, like get the terminal, get the person who's going to do it, right? And then once I get that person, then I can, to get them to agree to do it. And then I can get the 98 after I get all their information, right?
You can do the 98 number now, even without them.
Oh, really?
Just use your title of nobility name. Do not use your birth name when you do that application.
Title of nobility.
Mhm.
Where
So
does
let's
that?
say,
I read that before, but I don't remember where it was at.
yeah, it's in the freshman section. You'll see it there. I've also put a standalone video in Patreon called just Titled Nobility to help you decide how to choose those names.
Oh,
But it's usually your first name, but with a different last name, and it's geared towards your family heritage. So if you have
okay,
a little bit of history as to where you come from, that would help you.
okay. And for the foreign trustee, what do I show them, like as far as what their duties is? Because I have someone that would do it probably. She's just so busy, and she won't have time to do anything much really than other than sign, any documents or something. Or is there something that else that she needs to do? And what can I show her that, like, what she's getting into? Like, why am I doing this kind of thing?
Yeah, you would have to explain to her why you need her. And the only reason why you would need her is to prevent your trust from passing the US court test and control test. So when you show her the laws on that, that I've showed you, you will be able to show her this is why you qualify for this position, because you are a non-resident alien and I am not. And that is the only reason why you need her a part of your trust. Other than that, she is not going to do any banking, any administration of the trust. She's going to give that jurisdiction over to you. And the only way she gives that to you is by being the settler of the trust enterprise. And you're going to be the trustee of that, operating on behalf of your non-resident alien. So she doesn't do anything.
Okay. And does she sign? Doesn't she have to sign the trust documents or something?
She'll sign a couple of pages on the trust documents just to initiate. But going forward, it's going to be you signing things on her behalf.
Yay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Mhm. So just take a look at that hold harmless agreement. That's the initial one that she's going to sign. Take a look at the powers and duties, those pages, and also take a look at that plenipotentiary of power contract. That is your minutes 5. Those are the 3 things that you and your trustee need to have an understanding of.
Okay, wait. Powers. Can you say that again? Powers and duties?
Powers and duties.
Uh-huh.
That's trustee minutes 1 through 4. And then trustee minutes 5 is the plenipotentiary of power.
Right.
Right?
Got it.
Very
Okay.
good questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Tom Boyle, how are you? Unmute your mic and you're good to go.
Good, doing real good. Denise has got some questions. My wife, we're sitting here together.
Thank you for taking our call. I just have a quick question on the SS4, but I think it was since answered by the.
I'm so sorry I have to mute you. There's a robotic static coming in. So let me go to another caller and I'll come back to you to see if that will clear up anything. Right back. We're going to go to Jesus. You are muted.
Hey, what's up, Avery?
Hey,
Happy Saturday.
you too. Thank you.
How you doing?
I'm well. I'm well. Sun is coming out now, so it's doing much better.
Where you at? You still over there in the Orange State?
Oh yeah, Orlando area.
Okay.
Mhm.
Happy Saturday to everybody in the chat. I know you said there's one question, so I'm gonna just stick to the script. Before I ask the question though, real fast, I was looking up, trying to get my feet wet in regards to getting whole life insurance, and I just been going on YouTube, and I'm not, listening to what they're saying, but like the general like notion behind it is like everybody's like, oh, forget about whole life. You should just do term, it's cheaper, et cetera, et cetera. So that this is not my question, and I don't want to keep wasting time on it. Can you point me in the right direction
Mhm.
to, start getting these brain muscles moving?
Yes, let me point you to an insurance agent who will give you the best answers for why whole life over term. You want to look up, oh my gosh, what is that? There you go. IBC Global. They put it in the chat.
IBC
IBC
Global.
Global. Mhm.
Nice.
If you can ask for Ayanna Douglas. It's very, very helpful. And they also have a YouTube channel and with Steve Parisi over there. And he
Yeah,
has a lot of videos.
yeah, I'd rather do the YouTube thing before I just call someone and pay for their time because
Oh yeah, but
I
you
want
also mentioned that I sent you, and she will You'll know what you're trying to do.
Copy. All right, we got that out the way. Now my question real fast. So I'm gonna have a citizen, full-blown citizen. He wants no part of what I'm doing. He's gonna go open up my enterprise banking account.
Mhm.
I heard what you said earlier, the certification of trust. Now the EIN, is that the actual document that the IRS sent me? Go with that one, make a copy of that one.
Yeah, when you go online and apply for the enterprise and they ask you if you want to get an online copy or do you want them to mail it to you? Well, I always say just let me just get the online copy and they spit you out a PDF of it.
Correct.
Yeah.
I have that.
Mhm.
I have. All right. So then the trustee ID. Now the question is, all right. So certification of trust, copy of the EIN, and then my trustee's ID. He's gonna go in there, bang that out, right?
Correct.
Now, am I putting him in my DOT on page 1?
You
In the
have
section.
a banking declaration of trust, right? And then you also have a certificate of trust. Now, this is a completely separate name from your original 9(8) Express Trust. This is a wholly different trust. This trust is going to allow you to do the banking aspect on behalf of that 9(8) number. So this has nothing to do with your initial declaration of trust with that 9(8) number.
So
Completely.
the answer is no.
Answer is no.
Okay, so go to the banking declaration of trust, and then what else you said after that? I'm sorry.
You got your banking declaration of trust. Keep that at home. You got the certificate of trust. That's what you take into the bank. You got your EIN number. You got your trustee's ID and social.
Now, this banking declaration of trust, it sounds like I'm keeping that within my minutes then. It sounds like I'm not recording that to the county. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Okay, there we go. All right. The for the 20, okay, you said one question. All right, thank you, Chief. Appreciate
No problem.
you.
Forget it. Hands up.
I hear you. Take care. God bless you. Thank you, brother.
All right. Okay. Misha, you are unmuted. Just unmute your mic.
Hi, Avery. How are you?
I'm good today. Thank you.
Okay, I have a question. I'm in the midst of doing my Express Trust, and I had a question in regards to the real property.
Mhm.
My mom she passed away and she has a lot. So do I need a title of certificate or can I just use the lot number and the location and address?
You want to use that as far as the real property in your trust?
Yes.
Okay. You if she passed away, was there a will or any trust that she left behind?
No, it wasn't. None of that.
Okay. Who's going to take over the property? Is that going
Well,
to be you?
my grandpa, well, yeah, it would be me. My
Mhm.
grandfather had made the arrangements and did everything, but
Okay.
he has passed away as well. So
Okay. All right. My condolences. Now, the thing is, there has to be something. I mean, you can use the property, the address and the parcel and all of that in your documentation to get yourself recorded properly in the county.
mm,
If you actually want to have the ability to transfer the property from their names or whatever entity that they had it in over to yours, you are going to need to go into probate to do that.
okay.
Simply because there was no will or no New Testament of a trust that exists. And that's not hard to do. It's just the proper forms in your county courthouse. I'm assuming no one else is going to be trying to battle you out with this. So you be
No,
a petitioner.
right.
Um, all you have to do is go and apply and get their estate number online if someone hasn't done that yet. But that's all you need.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Jackie Crawford, right? You are unmuted. Just got to unmute your mic. Jackie Crawford. once, going twice.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. Yes, you're good to go.
Okay, my apologies. I thought I unmuted it. Sorry for being late, and thank you for the invitation. I'm new here, and this is my first time with you. Again, I say thank you. But I wanted to ask, how can I get the foreign trust and the trust where you only use your birth certificate? And how do I join your Telegram group?
To join the Telegram group, well, welcome first of all. Thank you for coming. Go ahead and send your Telegram username in the chat here. My executive assistant will grab it. Make sure your privacy settings is off. Otherwise, we can't add you. Anybody wanted to go into Telegram, if we missed your name or your calling, put that in the chat right now. Make sure that everybody can see that. And
Okay.
Now, what I want to address, because I'm not sure what you mean when you say, how do you do your trust based on just your birth certificate? What do you mean by that?
Well, I was recently watching you on TikTok, and you were talking about this trust where your name does not appear, just your social security number. Are you familiar with what I'm speaking about?
Your name does not appear, just
Your name doesn't appear on the trust. It's your social security number. I was just watching you on that. Been following you a couple of years. Yeah.
No, I'm not familiar with what content I put out that says that. What we're
Yeah,
trying.
you have a video on it on TikTok, and you were talking about this new trust, and you're talking about the social security number.
No, not ringing a bell. But what we're trying to do is this. We're trying to take everything that's comprised in our social, which is our estate, and we're trying to gift that over to the trust and take control of it. The trust owns it, but we control it. No longer is the United States trust controlling it.
Yes.
This course is all about. Now, if you have a social, and we do understand that utilizing that social is taking on the benefits and privileges of the United States. We can't change that. However, that number is giving you at the same time access to your inheritance, but they're just giving you a little piece of that, right? That's how the national public debt works. So if you have to use that number to get a house or a car, or if you needed to go and get social services temporarily, use it. That's fine. When it comes to the taxation part of it, this is where the trust comes in and protects you from that.
Okay.
So that's what we're trying to do here. And we're doing that every day. So
Okay.
do you have any questions pertaining to the courses that you've seen so far?
Well, yes, I reached out to you a while back. I do have my irrevocable trust set up. I'm waiting for the docs to come in. I have the digital copies, but I'm waiting for the hard copy to come in. And I have one from 2007. I have sent you, I have written to you on TikTok about that, about executing it. And I guess I'm gonna have to do another consultation with you. I had one set up with you, but I wound up missing you because we're on different time zones, and I did not realize that.
Oh, okay. Is it under the name Jackie?
Huh?
Is it under your name, Jackie? Is that what you booked it under?
Yes. Well, actually, it might have been Jacqueline because that's my name.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
I had been
my
speaking with
history
you.
on that.
Yeah,
Okay.
I paid you, and I didn't get my consultation because we missed because different time zones.
Right. I'll
Yeah.
check my history on it, and then I'll get you another link so you can book immediately, and it's not going to charge you at all. But you could have been scheduled with another one of my consultants, so I'll check with them too. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, let me go back to Tom Boyle. Hopefully the microphone is clear. You are unmuted.
Okay. So on the SS4, obtain the 98 number. went ahead and did that, but I used my Catholic name.
It's still bad. I can kind of make out what you're saying, but let's try it again and come a little bit closer to your mic.
Okay, is this better? I'll talk louder.
Much better.
Okay. On the SS4 form, I completed it, got my 98 number. But when I talked with the rep, she said I needed to redo it because I used my married name, my first and last name as the trustee. I had a foreign address for the sole trustee.
Correct. Correct.
The question is, do I need to redo this form?
I would say start over.
Okay.
I would say the number that you've been given, put it away, don't use it, and go ahead and start over.
Can I use the same trustee or trust name?
You can do that. Yes.
Okay.
Just go ahead and
That's it.
use your title nobility name if you don't have a foreign trustee, and tell them that you don't have a social security number to give. You give them that foreign address. And if they ask you, well, how are you calling us from a United States phone number? You tell them you're temporarily in the States doing trust business, but offer to give them a foreign number. And most likely when you say that, they just stop and just continue on with the application and don't even care about you being a US citizen.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. I was wondering when the SS4 question was going to come. James Saunders.
Hey, what's up, Avery?
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, I'm sure that your executive assistant has let you know I have made my final payment for my express.
She did so. I have Isaiah here. He's going to schedule your injunction Zoom webinar, so be ready for that this week.
Yes, I have to get that those finances together. She also let me know that due to the complications, you guys don't have time to keep calling counties to find out the various payment methods and all that. You guys have a whole new formula set up for that, and it's a little bit more pricey. So I understand that. I'm gonna be getting that together for you too.
Raise the prices on everything. But you and Michael V, you guys will be having that consultation this week by Isaiah. Give you guys that injunction.
Okay, I'm looking.
But just take it one serving at a time. It doesn't have to be, like I said, at the minimum of 72 hours from when they receive it. It can just be, needs to be a minimum. Let's say you waited a week or a month before the next serving. That's perfectly fine. You're most likely going to be on the list after the first serving anyway. It's just completing all 3 servings will guarantee you've actually completed an administrative procedures court proceeding.
Okay. The real important question I wanted to ask you was about the SBA thing. Do you want me to go through your executive assistant, because you said that you would need to see the actual contract with the SBA loan to determine what the source bank is. Remember you told me that? So I can do an accord and satisfaction with them?
Yeah, did you email that to me?
No, let me take down the email you need me to fax that or send you.
I'll text it to you. I'll text it to you.
Okay, cool. And as far as the international license, when you have everything set up with your international license and your vehicles are under the trust, does that get you out of having to do this annual registration tag BS?
No, you still need to have registration every year. It's just um you can pay for it up front, include that fee inside of your taxes when the trust files and get the money back, or you can just pay it. But I do not want you guys to do things where you're causing attention to yourself.
Yeah, definitely.
You don't want to do that, driving around with unregistered plates and then getting pulled over all the time. So let's avoid that. And we want to remain in the private. Leave us.
Makes you a target.
It does. It makes you a target, especially those private plates that you see all over the internet. Why do that?
I had something to add if just to include to the group. I found out recently, I'm sure you're aware of it, but others might not be. So I was told when I went to the license bureau that unbeknownst to most people, and this is how people get out of e-check when they can't pass or whatever. Do you know that you can register if you already have your truck, even if you have it registered as a commercial vehicle, you can up the weight to 10,000 pounds, no more e-check. Then I also found out you can have a passenger car and register it as a commercial truck and then no more e-check. I just found this out.
Really?
Yes. They told me that at the license bureau.
Wow, they're changing up some rules. I know we have passenger automobiles and non-passenger automobiles that you can classify as too. So I'll look into that too. If you can give me some more information on that, and we'll put that inside of Patreon where we can look up the links behind what that representative was telling you, we will definitely look into it.
Well, I just want to bless people with that. Any way that we can, give back for all that you do and, bless others at the same time. I'm all for it.
Appreciate it. Thank you, James.
No problem.
We got it's 2 o'clock. We're gonna take two more and we have to go. Gonna go to, let's see, El Bay. You are unmuted. Wapika. Alu El Bay.
Hi, greetings.
Greetings.
Thank you so very much. You are much appreciated. So I just recently joined your Patreon as well. Um, I've been in this process for probably like 3 to 4 years. So my birth certificate, I've already had it authenticated 2 years ago. I've had my 98 number for a couple of years now. Um, I also have a trust set up in my all capital name, and it's an irrevocable trust, and I have myself with my upper and lowercase name, um, and another person as my trustee. But I have all the paperwork, so I just realized that the certification of trust is that one page that I've already had notarized. So long story short, I have a lot of the process done. I guess my problem is probably because I'm looking at and listening to too many people that I'm confused as to what to do next. I have not set up the bank account, but thank you because you just said you need your certificate of trust. I do have my 98 number under my LBay name. And then I didn't get the third one you said that I needed, like the certificate of trust for the bank account, the EIN number, and I didn't hear the third.
It's just the ID that you're going to
The,
use to open the account.
the what now?
Your identification.
Oh, the ID. Okay, ID.
See,
Okay,
you're
gotcha.
not going to open up your trust bank account with the 98 number.
Okay,
Can't do it because that 98 number does not have a social attached to it for the banks to do their day-to-day banking.
gotcha.
So if you do that, you will be like me and others who've done that in the past, and that money is frozen.
Gotcha.
So what I want you to do is open up a second trust. And this works as a fiduciary agent on behalf of that 98 number, right? That's your trust enterprise. And when you say you have a lot of this information and then you're hearing from too many different peoples, the ones that tell you where they're getting it from, such as the Internal Revenue Manual, mostly, and other state laws, or even um, ancient books back in the 1800s. Those are the ones that you can follow. Outside of that, if it's just a procedure that they got from so and so and so and so and so and so, you'll be spinning your wheels doing this process for a long time.
Right. So I guess, so I signed up for your freshman course, but a lot of the stuff I've already done in the freshman's course, except for I need to understand how to set up the express trust so I can put this Gail, my trust in my upper and lowercase name underneath it. So that's why I went with the freshman course.
Okay.
Um
You will be able to look at the course and compare what you have as to what we're showing here. One thing that I will mention, I do not recommend having a trust in your full name on any level. I think that just defeats the purpose of remaining anonymous. It defeats the purpose of
well,
knowing what is yours and what is not yours. If you have a house that's in that trust name, then you're a very easy target for lawsuit.
right. So okay, so that's one of my confusions. So the trust in my all capital name, that's what it's set up under.
Mhm.
But if it collapsed under the 98 number, which is not in my name, it's in my Elbay name. So that's what I was trying to get. So I heard you on some of the videos saying that you can collapse things under that 98 trust. And I read the book too. So I'm doing both, looking at the videos and reading your book. So that's part of the confusion. I'm trying to understand how that works, because this is something I had done since 2020. This trust in all caps. Um, yeah, yeah. Um, I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna have to call and set up a consultation, I think, because I have several questions, and I know you don't have a lot of time, but I do have another question on another issue. I watched the video with the lady in Hawaii about the debt collectors,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm going through something similar to that.
Okay.
And my court date is next month.
Mhm.
But I've already responded to the summons with denying everything and submitted it.
Okay.
And I also wrote on there that I was making a special appearance on behalf of the person that they're suing.
Mhm.
Um, but the paperwork that you submitted, so I was kind of confused with that. But yeah, I want to see if I can set up a consultation for that first.
You can, and that will go directly to me because I have
Yes.
private clients and I handle court cases.
Yeah. So,
You have
and
some
that's
time to
the
do that.
most important right now. I want to, because that court date is coming up. So I really would like to speak with you on that.
Okay.
And I did respond though to that, and I submitted everything.
Okay. Go ahead and text this number,
Okay. I'm ready.
951
951
394
394
1775.
1775.
Everybody, that's just for her. Okay. I'll
I
go
could
ahead.
have gave you mine and you could have texted me, and then that way, but it
That's
doesn't matter.
okay. That's our executive assistant. So she'll take down your name and get you the link so we can get a booking schedule.
Yes, that would be great, because that's coming up. So I hadn't missed the date like she did, but I did write on there that I was making a special appearance. And I also went through the process. I already, you said don't do the state, but I do have the state fictitious name certificate also. So I've done that in 2020 as well, and it is for 5 years. So I need to do an affidavit as well.
Okay. I've seen forms like that many times. And sometimes you can, you know, you can have what you already have. You can continue to work with it. And sometimes we have to make an entirely different document. So,
Right.
upon
But I submitted
determination,
that.
we will go
I
ahead and
submitted
look at
that with that packet. I submitted that fictitious certificate, a copy of it with it.
Okay. So
So,
what you've basically done is you did an affidavit of denial to their complaint, and the stuff that you've included in your file, you've done a partial discovery request,
mm-hmm,
but you're going to have to do it legitimately in writing,
mm-hmm.
and it has to be served to everybody. And then you're going to have to get a certificate of that serving and put that into the case with the clerk of court. That's what's going to start the clock to give them time frame to respond to you. And when we start
Right.
that method, and it just sits there, and we're like, well,
Well, it says something about
yeah.
I had up until 30 days before the court hearing, and I think that's on the 9th. So I think.
Mhm.
I don't know, but I can still submit it or do what I got to do. They can either accept it or deny it.
Correct. If they deny, then we appeal. Simple as that.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you for calling in. Thank you.
And thank you so much. And I will be sending a text message with my name and number.
Okay, we'll look out for it.
Okay, thank you.
JTB Trust, you are unmuted.
Hey, it's Jonathan. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can, loud and clear.
Okay, great. Just one question. Would it be possible to utilize the private fiduciary or someone else as a potential replacement trustee for my irrevocable trust that I had set up in 2019?
Use another trustee to replace the one that you have. Is that the question?
Yeah, I need to replace, or I'm considering replacing my co-trustee or second trustee.
Uh,
And I was curious if I could utilize a private fiduciary that you know, or do you know anybody that could fulfill that role?
Now, is this trust pertaining to your 98 number or a different EIN?
It's an 83-6.
Okay, so this is a public trust.
Well,
It's a
technically it's an international, but yeah.
When you first set it up, did you give a non-resident alien?
Yes.
And they gave you a number outside of a 98?
Yeah, I went back to Articles of Confederation and went that route instead of through the 98.
Mhm. Well, so you're saying you used a country outside of the United States and Canada, and they gave you a number that wasn't a 98, and you did use a non-resident alien as a trustee at the time, and you would like to replace that person.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, you can get the foreign trustee, get that done if you want. Um, we have a couple, but yes, you can. The answer to your question, yes, you can do that.
Okay, so just get a hold of executive assistant for that.
Mhm. Or well, first go on Patreon, go to the search bar,
Mhm.
in foreign trustee application, you'll fill that out, send that to her. The instructions are at the bottom. I'll send that to her.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Tanya, you are unmuted.
Hello.
Hello.
So, I was just calling about what you and I had discussed before, and I went to, and I'm wondering if this is just because in my situation they have not opened a court case,
Mhm.
because I tried to record the certificate of service,
Mhm.
for the mailings that I did, and the county recorder would not record it because they didn't have like a category to put it under. I kind of tried to. I was over the phone with them because my mother was one was there trying to do it for me. I was trying to figure out if there was a category from what he gave me that we might be able to put it under, and he just kept saying, "No, it doesn't really fit into that. Doesn't really fit into that. We can't just file anything." So I just didn't
Yeah.
know if I need to go back and try and do it some other way, or if that's just something that I'm going to file um, on day 31
Well, you
when I
served
do
all
open a
the
court case.
parties.
I did.
Yeah, you served all the parties. Now just go and make another affidavit of proof of service or certificate of service and put that back into the case with the clerk of court. At least it's there that you served everyone. They want to know that you served everyone.
So the
So
thing is that I don't have a case number because it hasn't actually, there's no case that's been filed yet.
I'm jumping ahead of the horse. I remember now.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
trying to prevent that, of course.
Yeah. So obviously I would be opening a case on day 31 when I do my bill of complaint
Right.
if they haven't responded or, they haven't opened the case yet. But I figure if the county won't record it, I'm presuming then I would include that with my bill of complaints that it's recorded at that time then when I file the case and get
Yeah.
a case number.
Yeah, right. And I find that to be a
Okay.
little bit different in other counties, but that's San Diego County for you. So
hmm
we
Yeah, I
wouldn't.
just wanted to be sure. I figured that was probably what it was. I just wanted to confirm that I didn't need to try and get it into the county records some other way prior to having a case number.
Only way you can do it is if you title it affidavit.
Hmm.
Affidavit of serving,
Hmm. Okay.
and then have the main real property address as the header. That's the only way you're going to get it in there because they're looking at what kind of index they can put it into. And I'm sure you're
Because I
going to
was
a miscellaneous, you have a real property, and you have an affidavit section, you have so many other things.
Yeah, they were saying it wouldn't fit into any of the miscellaneous categories that they kind of have, and I tried to see like if they could just put it under affidavit, but I'm presuming it's because it doesn't say affidavit on it.
Yeah, that
And
could
that
be
might
why.
have been why they were being resistant to it. They did give her some paperwork of like what I would need to change on it in order to get it filed. I haven't looked at that yet, but if it doesn't really matter, and I can just file it when I do the case, when I file the case and the lawsuit, then I can just do it then as well. I wanted to just be sure it wasn't so important that I needed to figure that out right now to get it into county records.
Yeah, yeah.
That
If you
makes sense.
can't do it right now, according to the instructions they gave you, you can
hmm
do it once you file the bill of complaint. That's going to also allow you to do a list pendants on the property, and then they
hmm
will definitely let you do it under the list pendants.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Right. AJ, you are unmuted.
Good day.
Good day to you.
All right. Well, I've been doing my part as you have instructed us to do. I filed that that 88 form with the last two numbers of it. Um, if you recall that my sister, the situation that happened with the title and my mom and my sister, the whole thing.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at now. So I spoke with her. She agreed. We were supposed to meet. We met. Um, then the day of, she decided not to sign because she didn't understand.
Mhm.
So Monday, I'm expecting her to sign. And after that, my question really is about the next step. When I
Mhm.
go to file this stuff, I remember you saying that the county may ask for more, they may not.
Mhm.
Can you remind me about that one?
Yeah, they may ask for the declaration of trust to be in existence so that way they know, you're transferring this title into something that exists and it's real and lawful and standing and binding. So that's why you have a copy of it just in case, they ask for that. I've seen it. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't.
And that paperwork was within what you sent me already?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah,
Dynamite.
you should have the declaration of trust as proof, and you should have also had the quitclaim deed.
That's what we're doing right now. The quick
Yeah,
claim deed is with my sister. So
exactly.
I'll be taking that in when I go in.
Mhm.
Okay. Beautiful. One last thing, to get back on your list for consultations, where
Mhm.
do I go?
You can do that 888 number, or um, let me see here. Actually, private clients are on a schedule with us. So every month you should receive, let's see. Okay. So you can book every 30 days, right? According to the agreement. So
Yes, so.
you can use the same link that you've received before, right? Go through it that way, or just ask me to send you another link. And I'll send it to you.
Okay. It's been longer than 30 days because
Yeah.
of the vacation part.
Yeah.
Yeah. One last thing, and I mentioned it to your executive assistant, but I didn't see if she responded to that. I'm getting a notice asking about the being added because prior I had asked to be added to the Telegram group. I got accepted in, and I'm still receiving messages as if I hadn't. I don't know what needs to be fixed, but that keeps coming up. I keep being sent that. If you could look into that for me, please.
Yeah, I don't know why that's happening. I remember getting 2 requests from you
Yeah,
to
but
add you.
man,
I know I've added you, but I don't know.
yeah, but Patreon keeps sending me the message, so I'm not sure exactly why.
Oh no, that's just a message that's going out to everybody, to those that want to be a part of Patreon.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
So if you're already in it, then you can ignore that.
beautiful. Thank you again.
In my generosity, we are going to take one more, and that is going to be Shannon. You are unmuted. Shannon going once. Just unmute your mic. Unless your volume is low. Okay. Going to our executive assistant. Hey there.
Hey guys, how are you? A couple announcements I've been putting in the notes here on the side. If you sent me your username and number, we're asking that all the new members add the initials for the 0% at the end of their username, so that we can understand that we did invite you, because we do have people that try to get in that we haven't invited. So we do want to make sure that all the new members were actually invited by us. So this is a way that we can do that. So I did not get everybody's username in this link today, so I did provide my phone number, so that you can text me the updated username and the phone number that's connected to that username, and I will work on getting those invites out to you from my text. Okay, so I did not get everybody's here because I see that most of you have not updated your username yet. Also, when you call the customer service hotline, customer service line, and you leave an email with us, we have been replying to your request for consultation through email, from our do not reply email. So a lot of the emails are probably going to your spam. So when you continue to call because you feel like you haven't got reached out to, check your spam first, because they usually get out within the night that you called or the first thing the next day. I haven't missed one. So if I haven't got to you, it may be because it is coming from a do not reply and your email locks out spam. And so it's not allowing me to send on my end. And at that point, I try to reach out to you in a text to let you know that we need a better email, or that we did try to leave you a message and it wasn't going through. So yeah, so go ahead and update your usernames, text them to me to my phone, because we're gonna be getting off this phone and I cannot go back and grab everybody's information. Okay, appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Hope everybody got that. Very clear instruction there. Shannon, I saw that your mic was having issues. So to answer your question, yes, the estate EIN is pertaining to your life estate. Everything that you make or earn under that social under duress, because most employers don't allow you to use anything different, even though you are considered an individual contractor with them. You're using that social, the estate number allows you to take everything under the social and be classified under the jurisdiction of that 98 number. Okay. So please get that EIN and move forward to the next process, which is entity reclassification, filling out 8832 form. Since we didn't get a chance to speak with Shannon, we're going to go to Andres. You are unmuted. Just unmute your mic.
Hey, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. How are you?
I'm good. Happy belated birthday.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
My question is just about the DBAs. So I'm doing business in Florida, but I currently live in Texas. So I need to file basically both sides, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And then to correctly get the right amount, I was in the freshman and then I bought the full course. So I've been going, through the whole thing. The first DBA we should do is the one in our county where we were born. Is that correct?
You can do it in any county that's comfortable for you. I say
Okay.
do it in the county where you currently are doing commerce.
Okay. That makes sense.
Mhm.
And then it said in one of the videos, it said 6 DBAs per state, 2 foreign, 2 for the foreign trust, 2 for the enterprise trust, and then for any businesses that you're in for the state. Is that correct?
What I'm going to say is this is going to be easier for you.
Yeah.
That you said that.
Mhm.
And this is based on people doing what's in the videos and the information that's coming back to me about it.
Yeah.
So in the video, it says to take the name of your express trust and put doing business as your first, middle, last name.
Correct. Yeah.
I was able to do it when I did this, and a few other people were able to do it. Now that the information is getting out, they're not letting you do that. You may be able to do it, but you won't know until you try. So I say, if you don't want to be rejected, do it this way. Name, express trust, doing business as first, middle, family of, last, and then the word estate at the end. That is going to cover every single derivative of your birth name. That's number one. The second one is going to be just the plain name of your express trust.
Okay.
The third one is going to be the name of your express trust, doing business as the name of your trust enterprise. The fourth one, and this is optional if you have an LLC or corporation.
Yeah.
It would obviously be the name of your express trust, doing business as the name of the LLC or the name of the corporation. And that is it. 4
Okay. Okay. Per state, correct?
Can I drop my pen?
per state, per county.
Okay.
Wherever you are doing commerce, you want to make sure you have DBAs in that section. Now,
For the first one that you were talking about where it has everything listed out, if they don't accept it, should we just do our foreign express trust, first name, last name, at least as a minimum?
they will accept the estate format because it looks like an entity.
Okay.
But the first, middle, last name by itself, they'll most likely tell you, oh, you can't do it as a sole proprietorship.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's what they do. So they will accept it with the word estate and family of in that format.
Yeah. And then for the foreign address, in one of the videos in your freshman video, it said that sorry, for the birth certificate certification, it said to do it in one of the states that were not under the HUD, I think it's the abbreviation. And I don't remember the name of it, but basically it said don't do it in these states or in these countries to get it certified. And so in a future video, I was watching a Zoom meeting, it said, like, what, for example, you can do it in Switzerland. And then in the future video, it said you can't do it in Switzerland anymore because it obviously became part of the non. Yeah. So I was trying to do mine in Morocco, but I didn't get a Morocco address. I got a Switzerland address from the iPostal link that you provided.
Okay.
So that's where I'm kind of stuck in that I want to do it in Morocco and I want to get a Morocco address, but I'm stuck because it's like Morocco address is not, I don't know if they're going to be, in the future, a part of the United States. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I completely understand. If you go back and check in the Patreon messages, I gave a couple of countries that are currently good for you to use.
Okay.
Taiwan is one of them, and they're the longest running country that's a part of the non-Hague.
That's what it was. Yeah.
So if you don't want to, if you don't feel like looking, you can do Taiwan, you can do Sri Lanka. There's a couple other odd names out there that you can use. But if you check the Patreon messages, you'll see the list. I think I did about 13 of them.
Was that in the future? I'm sorry, was that in the freshman course or was that in the senior one?
Oh, no. Just log into your Patreon account and go into messages where you received this Zoom link.
Okay.
Check the history, go down about, I'd say 3-4 days ago. That's when I sent that.
Okay. Perfect. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Good questions. Good questions. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for today. Went 30 minutes over. I will see you guys next week. If you have any questions, like I said, you can submit them inside of Patreon, but I look at them, and if it requires an in-depth answer, I'm going to just refer you to get a consultation so I can show you with my screen how to get you to resolve that issue that you're going through. All right. Once again, contact my assistant for that information on getting into Telegram. Her number was 951-394-1775. She is going to verify that you are a member. Most people think that they can go in there without being a member. So we're trying to keep the information clean, correct, and in the right hands. So I appreciate you guys coming in. I'll see you guys next Saturday. Guys, take care.